SeaWorld is keeping a close eye on a killer whale blamed for killing a trainer. In a heart-stopping moment at Blue Horizon, Neptune, the star orca, turns from performer to predator, attacking its trainer in front of a stunned audience. This shocking incident is just the tip of the iceberg. Across the globe, some few other orcas have broken script, turning trained routines into dangerous confrontations. Join us as we uncover 6 terrifying last moments at these orca trainers. A trainer at SeaWorld Orlando rushed to the hospital after she was bitten by a killer whale. Number 6. Neptune and Maris, Blue Horizon Oceanic Park, located in sunny San Diego, California, was a top destination for marine enthusiasts. It was very popular for its famous orca performances. The park featured state-of-the-art aquariums, dolphin encounters, and a colorful coral reef exhibit. But the true heart of the park was Neptune, a colossal 20 feet long, 10,000 pounds male orca. His shows drew thousands of visitors each week, making him the park's biggest star and a key source of revenue. Neptune performed 6 amazing shows weekly, always leaving the audience impressed. However, behind the scenes, trouble was brewing. Trainers had been noticing disturbing behavior from Neptune. He would slap his tail against the walls of his tank and sometimes outright refuse to follow commands. Despite repeated warnings from the staff, Blue Horizon's management insisted that the shows continue, prioritizing the revenue Neptune generated over safety concerns. Among Neptune's handlers was Maris Ellington, a 27-year-old marine biologist who had worked tirelessly to become his primary trainer. Growing up along the rugged coastline of Oregon, Maris developed a deep passion for marine life. After earning her degree, she joined Blue Horizon. Maris was proud of her bond with Neptune, and so she brushed off concerns about his erratic behavior, confident she could handle him. But not everyone shared her optimism. A senior trainer had raised serious concerns months earlier, citing Neptune's growing aggression and isolation. The trainer even requested that Neptune be retired from performing, or at the very least, removed from shows. Management, however, rejected the request, unwilling to lose their star attraction. Frustrated and unwilling to compromise on safety, the trainer quit in protest. Their unprofessionalism, however, would eventually backfire. By the time of the afternoon show, Maris had already completed one performance earlier in the day. The amphitheater was once again filled with eager families and children, excited to watch Neptune. Despite Neptune's unpredictable behavior in recent months, Maris remained confident. She even reassured her colleagues, saying she believed he was in a good mood that day. Before the show began, the trainers reviewed the cues and safety protocols one final time. As the music played and the announcer welcomed everyone, the excitement in the amphitheater grew. Around 500 people cheered as Neptune, the huge orca, entered the tank and swam smoothly through the water. The show began well. Maris guided Neptune through his opening tricks, and he did everything perfectly. The crowd clapped and cheered as he performed. For a moment, everything felt normal again. Neptune looked calm and majestic. Then came the final part of the show's special moment where Maris and Neptune swam together. Maris got into the water, and Neptune started swimming around her. She signaled him to jump out of the water beside her. It looked like he was going to do it, but suddenly, Neptune changed direction. Without warning, he attacked Maris, biting her in the middle of her body. The force threw her out of the water for a second before he pulled her back under. The audience screamed in horror. The trainers quickly tried to stop Neptune. They threw colorful objects and food into the tank to distract him. The trainers used long sticks to try to move him away, but Neptune was thrashing too violently. He slammed Maris against the tank walls. Her body floated to the surface a few times before being pulled back down. Finally, after more than a minute, Neptune let go. Maris's body rose to the surface. Rescue divers jumped in and pulled her out of the water. Medics tried hard to save her, but her injuries were too severe. She had broken ribs, a punctured lung, and serious damage to her chest and stomach. Sadly, she was declared dead on the spot. The scene turned chaotic. Visitors were rushed out of the park, emergency crews arrived, and the amphitheater was closed off. Blue Horizon stopped all orca shows immediately, and later made the decision to end them for good. The tragedy had serious legal consequences too. Maris's heartbroken parents, grieving the loss of their only child, filed a lawsuit against Blue Horizon. They said the park had ignored warnings about Neptune's aggressive behavior and kept him in stressful, isolated conditions. The lawsuit also said that the park didn't have proper safety measures and that the management chose to keep doing shows even though they knew there were risks. After some discussions, the case was settled privately. Blue Horizon agreed to pay a large amount to Maris's family. As part of the agreement, the park also promised to support ocean conservation and help fund research into the mental health of orcas living in captivity. The incident shocked the entire marine park industry. Blue Horizon permanently ended its orca shows, kept other attractions like dolphin shows, aquariums, and exhibits focused on conservation. Still, without their star orca, attendance dropped and the park started to lose money. Within a few years, Blue Horizon went bankrupt and eventually shut down. Neptune was moved to a marine sanctuary in British Columbia, where he could live in a more natural and peaceful place. But Neptune wasn't the only orca harmed by captivity. Another tragic case involved an orca named Taco and a trainer named Claudia. Loro Park, located on the beautiful coast of Puerto de la Cruz in Tenerife, is a famous wildlife park. It covers over 100,000 square meters of green land and is home to many animals. It was originally made as a home for parrots, but later became a major tourist spot with dolphins, penguins, and its most popular animals, the orcas. One of the park's biggest attractions was the Orca Ocean exhibit, where these powerful and smart animals performed for visitors. But behind the exciting shows, not everything was okay. One of the star orcas was Taco, the 6-year-old son of Tilikum. He weighed over 3,300 pounds and impressed visitors with his size and strength. However, the trainers who worked with him knew his story was much more complicated. Orcas are smart and can be trained, but they are still wild animals with natural instincts and emotions that can be hard to predict. Taco had shown small signs of aggression before, but nothing serious until one terrible day. Taco had a rough start in life. Soon after he was born, he was taken away from his mother, Tima, because she was aggressive toward him. Her behavior likely came from her own trauma. She had once seen her mother, Gudrun, try to drown one of her own calves. Because of this, Taco was raised by another female orca named Kale and often stayed with his half-brother, Tur. In 2004, Taco and Tur were moved to SeaWorld San Antonio, where they were introduced to a new group of orcas. This transition, along with his later move to Loro Park, only heightened and the troubles Taco was facing. He endured frequent aggression from other orcas, leaving visible scars from countless confrontations. Despite these hardships, Taco grew into a powerful, but unpredictable animal shaped by his turbulent past, a past that likely contributed to his aggression toward his trainers. One of those trainers was Claudia Volhart, a 29-year-old marine biologist from Winheim, Germany. Claudia had always been passionate about marine life and saw her work with orcas as a dream come true. As Europe's only female orca trainer at the time, she had spent years earning the trust of these incredible animals. On what seemed like an ordinary day, Claudia prepared for another training session with Taco. The atmosphere was tense, though she reassured her colleagues that Taco was okay. Anyway, the session was supposed to be simple. Taco would nudge her feet with his snout as they swam together. Claudia stood at the edge of the pool as Taco approached her, his dorsal fin cutting through the water. Initially, he appeared calm, but something about his movement seemed off. Without warning, Taco lunged at Claudia, striking her chest with incredible force. The impact knocked the air from her lungs and sent her crashing into the water. Before she could recover, Taco attacked again, his massive body slamming into her with unrelenting power. Claudia struggled to regain control, but Taco's strength was overwhelming. He dragged her downward into the deepest part of the pool 40 feet below the surface. Taco's teeth grazed her arm as he pulled her further down. The pressure of the water made it harder for her to breathe, and the pain in her chest and arm was unbearable. As Taco's grip tightened, Claudia's vision began to fade. Just when it seemed like there was no escape, Taco released her and resurfaced, still holding her arm in his mouth. With one final surge of power, he propelled both of them back to the surface. Gasping for air, Claudia tried to stay conscious, but the pain was overwhelming. Her colleagues, who had been watching in horror, rushed to her aid. They pulled her from the water and away from Taco, who remained in the pool. Claudia's injuries were severe: a broken elbow, a bruised lung, and deep internal trauma. She was rushed to the hospital where doctors worked to stabilize her. Miraculously, she survived, but the attack left both physical and emotional scars that would take much longer to heal. Back at Loro Park, the reality of the incident began to sink in. Trainers and park management understood the risks of working with such powerful animals. The taco's attack was proof of the unpredictable nature of orcas in captivity.